If I just filmed a video like this and like did not acknowledge the Kirby on my head, would you guys care?
What is that?
It's Kirby. Welcome back, guys. So a few days ago, I started scripting out this video, and I actually started to struggle a little bit when it came to explaining myself and making the review as in-depth as I want my reviews to be and as in-depth as my other reviews have been. So what I've decided to do for this review for the Anbernic RG Nano, as I struggle to get this keychain connector thing off, is I'm gonna make this a mini review. I'm gonna go over what I like and don't like, but because this thing is so small and there isn't that much that I can discuss for such a long period of time, this review is gonna be shorter than my other longer reviews. So let's get on with it. The Anbernic RG Nano is a device I've been using for the past week or so, jokingly and non-jokingly, just to test out whether I think you guys should buy it or not. And let's just say, this far into it, it's not looking great. This thing runs on Linux, has a 240p screen, and has 64 megabytes of RAM. None of those things should really be concerning for a small device like this, but the whole package leaves something to be desired. It's not the most comfortable device to hold, as I'm sure you can tell by its small size, but the buttons also feel pretty bad. The face buttons feel super rubbery, and while they feel like buttons, I want a little more from them. The same can be said about the D-pad. It's not the great Anbernic D-pad we've come to expect, especially from their other devices, and I know that I shouldn't expect that from a device in this size, but come on, this is too tiny, this is too rubbery, this is too uncomfortable to hold. It feels like it has misinputs like the RG35XX did. It feels kind of bad for a retail product. If you can hear that lawn mowing in the background, I am so sorry. Software isn't horrible. I have noticed some issues with scrolling through games, which probably has something to do with the D-pad having misinputs on like horizontals and stuff, but that's the only issue I've seen. It's not amazing, but it's actually something I can kind of excuse, because some of you might get mad at me for this because I just said I can't really excuse the face buttons and D-pad, but at this point, we've kind of come to expect bad software, especially from these like Linux handhelds. But hear me out, the software was never going to be incredible. I mean, Anbernic even acknowledged this by putting Black Seraph's Garlic OS in their recent update to the RG35XX's firmware, and putting how amazing that is aside that they actually did that, it shows that they kind of know that other people are making better OSs and that theirs is kind of garbage, which makes me feel like bad software was expected here, and it's not something that I can really feel let down about if I already expected it to happen, if that makes sense. Because like I said, I've never seen a Linux handheld with like good stock firmware. The closest was probably the Powkiddy RGB10 Max, but that literally just used some form of Linux distribution for handhelds or for gaming. I think it was either Batocera or like Emulation Station or something like that. I can't really remember, but that was probably the best, and that's because it had themes installed in the back end. Like, that's not something that Powkiddy did. It's something that the people who made that front end did. Is it a front end or a back end? I just said front end and back end. Sorry, I'm not that well educated in Linux. But yeah, I've never really seen good software, or at least like good home menu stuff on a Linux like device. This thing is solid aluminum, and that's probably the coolest thing about it. It feels super solid. That's probably the coolest thing about it, aside from its tiny form factor. I wouldn't slam it on the ground, but I mean, it could probably survive a fall from a window if it needed to. If you wanted it to. I don't know why you would, but like, nice to know it can. I'm not testing it though, you have to do that. I'm not sure if I actually recommend this, because I feel like it's only cool for the novelty of its size, of it being so tiny. If you want a small device to put on your keychain, sure, but like, I'm not gonna recommend this to anyone who doesn't want to waste their money. Like, if you just have money to spend, sure, go ahead. I'm not gonna stop you. If you don't, please do not buy this thing. But if you're anyway looking for a device to use on the go, or something like a portable, like comfortable, portable, small gaming handheld thing, I would say stick with either the Miu Mini or the RG35XX, because both are around the same price and are better. The RG35XX on Anbernic's website right now is like $3 cheaper. Yeah, get that instead. So yeah, I don't really recommend it to anyone other than the people who just want to waste money. Like, if you have money to waste, sure, go ahead, buy it. I'm not stopping you. If you don't, Save your money. Get something different. There's like a million different things. Get the RG35XX. That is like $2 cheaper and like a million times better. Like even the stock software on there is actually pretty good compared to this, because this is just Linux. Like it just shows a bunch of systems, whereas that you have like front end and stuff. It's like really nice. Not really nice. Compared to this, it's kind of really nice, but like everything's really nice compared to this. So I'm not sure what you want from me. Like it's a novel concept, and the execution is cool, I guess, but like, why? Like you've already gotten as small as you need to go with the RG35XX, which is the Miu Mini competitor. But like, did you just want something to like, I don't know, put on your keychain and you were like, oh, cool, mass production. But what do you guys think? Is there something that I forgot to mention that actually makes this thing worth buying? Or do you completely agree with me? Am I totally right? Am I the smartest person on earth? Tell me in the comments down below. I'll see you soon, actually pretty soon, because I have a bunch of stuff coming in and I'm gonna need to make videos on them. Sorry I didn't make a video for like a week. I forgot. And also just ran out of time. I'll see you next week. Week? It's Monday. I'll see you later this week. Goodbye.